Talking Gotham. 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 Talking Gotham.
In the words of Alice Cooper, your lips are venomous poison. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Ham. Welcome to Talking Gotham, episode 35. We got a poison ivy problem, a big one, but we'll get to that. But first up, from 3 Movie Cinema, it's Jacob Collins. Collins, how are you?
I'm rocking out, man. That Talking Gotham intro, I'm like, pumps me up, man. It makes me want to go exercise. That's how much that theme rocks. I'm doing well. I can't wait to talk about Gotham. I've been waiting for these. Look, here's the thing. I like this episode. That it's going to start to get way more enjoyable. Like, I think you're going to like it because I'm just saying, like I've been telling you, invest in seatbelts in your couch because it's about to get a wild ride. And this is just a start. Like the Poison Ivy, we are getting the definitive Poison Ivy. So I'm excited to talk about Poison Ivy.
And Matt Wyatt, how are you?
I'm doing good. I've actually surprisingly enjoyed these 3 episodes. I will say that the second episode is my favorite of the 3 because Bruce Wayne...
Who cares?
That felt very cold.
Ouchie!
All right, continue talking about Bruce Wayne.
I did like when Bruce Wayne was like under like a poison and he was like hallucinating, and then he's really trying to find his identity back into being the Dark Knight that we know. And I thought that was a pretty cool sequence. And I will say that Peyton List is definitely the better version of Poison Ivy. And I thought they casted a better actress than the last actress that we saw in the previous season of Gotham, which, in case you don't know who Peyton List is, she was on a show Smallville. She played Lois Lane's sister, Lucy. She only appeared like in 2 episodes as a guest star. And I also remembered her in a show on another CW show called The Tomorrow People with Robbie Amell that ran for like the only 1 season and it got canceled. It was around the time when Arrow was around at the time, and Robbie Amell's cousin Stephen Amell was playing Oliver Queen, Green Arrow.
Shout out to the real ones that remember international, like member of an international robbing cartel, Lucy Lane. Y'all remember that one when she was like skiing in the one episode?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about Smallville because it's such a great show and everything, and that that's the wrong shit.
Yeah, it's as if we already didn't do that already.
I've been actually rewatching it. Last night I started just the pilot, and then now I'm on episode 4, and I'm just thinking like, man, the only thing is I will say, going back to Smallville, the first 10 minutes of the episode, you could tell they didn't reshoot that except for like the Martha scene because it all looks like it's something that was shot like in like the 90s, like X-Files type footage, because it looks like something like VHS style footage. But then when you get to like the present day with Tom Welling and everything, that looks like it's modern day footage. And I'm just thinking,
well, no, the flashback of the opening felt way more of a soap opera. It felt like every typical CW soap,
it feels like something 90s, very 90s, but like when you
very
get
old school
like,
90s soap opera.
Yeah, it feels like they use old footage, and I guess, but when they probably reshot, when they reshot the
they only reshot the pilot when they recasted Martha Kent. That was the only time they reshot the pilot.
But you can probably tell where they okay, this footage looks too grainy. We need to redo the footage or something, make it look more like.
It looked better on the 1080p. It looked better with the remastered on the Blu-ray.
On 4K, I'm watching on 4K, and I'm like, this footage looks. The first 10 minutes for the meteor shower looks like oof. Like it looks rough.
No,
but
I'm gonna have to disagree on that one. It still looked like it holds up in that visual effects.
But when you get to when Tom Welling, when you get to the farm in modern present day, I'm like, all right, it looks really good. Like, all right, I was like, all right, I like the footage.
I thought the effects on the meteor shower looked like it still holds up.
Oh, that was just like a little nitpick, just the flashback. But other than that, I'm like, I really am enjoying this rewatch. But we're not here to talk about Smallville. We're talking about Gotham. Okay, let's talk about the one thing we're all here for: Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy, to quote Uma Thurman. Okay, thank you, Brian. Thank you. Blow back to you too. Thank you, Brian. It's made my day.
If you like the video, like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Shout out to Small Zero. We're doing that weekly over there. Just a bit of a cheap plug. Last week we talked about Alien Isolation 2. We talked about some new movie news coming out. We just recently had Jeff Snyder on. That was a big bucket list item for us. So be on the lookout for that.
And tomorrow night, we are going to have a special guest, and you'll find out tomorrow night when you see who we're gonna have. It's a good
Yes.
friend of mine that I'm really excited to bring back on.
But for right now, let's get into Gotham. This is season 4, episode 12, called Pieces of a Broken Mirror. Matt?
The episode aired on March 1st, 2018. Nigma's dual personality as the Riddler takes control of him, and with his intentions to overthrow Lee as the head of the Narrows, he hires Griffin Crank to assassinate her while she gives a speech to unite the Narrows. However, the assassination attempt fails. Inciting a bombing instead, Alfred and Detective Gordon help rescue those in the bombing. Alfred is hailed as a hero at the local diner, while Gordon pursues Crank. IV reappears in a newly mutated adult body created by a combination of drugs and toxins. She enters the recently rebuilt Sirens nightclub and reveals her powers to Selena as the two allies. Alfred learns that Tiffany, a waitress from the diner, has been killed by her abusive boyfriend, Rooney. Although Alfred is framed for the murder, he tracks down Rooney and, alongside Bullock, who is now working as a bartender, has Rooney arrested. Nigma confronts Crank, not knowing his Riddler of persona hired him. Gordon, who was led to Crank by Barbara earlier, arrives and shoots Crank dead just as he reveals the Riddler's involvement. Nigma lies to Gordon, keeping his involvement a secret. I will say that I already saw that coming for that whole duality of the Riddler. I knew that the Riddler was behind the hiring of the assassination of Lee. That one I saw that coming from a mile away.
Yes, but the big through line for this one and pretty much these 3 episodes is Poison Ivy. So let's just get into that really quick because as we were touching on, this actress is really good. And honestly, like she just understood, like in popular culture, I guess Poison Ivy is unfortunately best known as Uma Thurman and maybe Batman the Animated Series, if you want to throw a second one in there. I feel like here, though, is a pretty good version, if not just the overall best. Like her transition to being into Poison Ivy, I thought was great. Like the opening scene, she's like in that like sack looking thing and she like just bursts out and I almost thought she was going to say, oh, it's a jungle in here. Maybe some kind of a connection, but probably better for the best she did it.
Did this remind you a little bit of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like the pod people? When
Yes.
that's what
Yeah.
I got idea, like when I was looking at that, it reminded me of like Invasion of the Body, how the plants or what that's killing people, and that's what I was just thinking of when watching this episode. It's kind of like she's reborn and now she's just going to seek vengeance, which I will say this though, this episode, let me see on my notes. I think I like Gordon going to the brothel looking for Harvey, and then they're like, "Oh, Harvey's like this is the 2 women that Harvey usually gets with," and he goes, "Of course," and so he's like, "Yeah, but I'm not interested." And I thought that was pretty funny. The only thing is though, Harvey would you really think Harvey goes to a brothel? Like Harvey seems like the type of guy who literally would just can get anybody. He doesn't need to go get like to pay for it.
I mean, he did just get fired / let go. So maybe he's just falling back on some undesirable habits. We don't really know.
One
But
question I want to point out. I thought that Harvey quit. I thought he decided to resign.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I said
he was let
fired
go
/
he was let go of the commissioner job.
Yeah,
but
yeah. He
resigned
was
as
let
a
go.
police officer.
Yeah, he was let go. No, he was let go as the captain, but then he got demoted and he decided to resign.
Yeah, because
But,
would you want to stay as in a job that everyone had your respect and then you lost everyone's respect and now you're basically like them now? It's like it'd be like working at Walmart, being a manager, going back to an employee. Would you want to stay at Walmart if you go back to an employee at Walmart? No.
I wouldn't. But then we see what Alfred is doing now that he is basically unemployed. He's just beating up random goons in alleyways. Good for him. We all have to have a hobby.
I am Butler. Man.
I am Butler.
Cheerio to you too.
He's
But
like,
I
I
did.
am Alfred Pennyworth. Oi!
But Alfred is like the king of the Narrows now. Okay.
Alfred got the respect of the people of the Narrows, which I'm just thinking, oh my God. He's like, everybody pretty much can recognize him, pick him up out of lineup. There's a British man going around beating up people in the Narrows. As a British man.
I feel like the whole subplot of the boyfriend killing the killing the girlfriend, the diner girl, the waitress, was kind of a bit of a shoehorned in. I feel like that they've used that as a little bit of plot convenience so that we meet up with the psychopath boyfriend again. Oh, how convenient. We see Bullock. Now we know where he's at. Now he's working as a bartender.
I will say though, I didn't see that coming. I'm not gonna lie, I did not see that coming.
Neither did I.
I did not see that coming. I'm like, that just caught me off guard. I'm thinking, oh, what's gonna happen? He's probably gonna confess, and someone's gonna have him a recording or something will happen to where Alfred will probably have a gun to his head, and he'll be like, Gordon's like, Alfred, you can't kill him. You know, I thought that was what it was gonna be. Instead, I was like, that came out of nowhere. I will say Alfred beating up the goon because remember he has the shoes. He goes, his shoes are nicer than my car. And then they go beat him up, and all of a sudden Alfred beats him up. And then there's multiple men are coming at him, and all of a sudden Gordon's like, freeze. He goes, which, let me ask you this, what did you think about the toy maker?
I liked his weapons of choice, like basically the toys turning into guns and bombs. Like there was the one, Lucius had the funniest line delivery in this where it was like terminate, and like, you have got to be kidding me. Like I loved when he that was so good.
I like that one too, and I kind of figured that this version of Toyman is not going to last very long. I feel like the son is going to be taken over as Toymaker.
And they don't even have this. Is a different version from the comics. This is not Winslow Scott. This is like a Crank. This is a guy named Wallace Crank, whatever his name is. Yeah. Because Supergirl was using with Toymaker, so they were like, "Oh, Toyman, we can't make." So Gotham was like, "We can't use Winslow Scott."
Yeah, this was like around the time when Supergirl was still on CW, so they used Toyman in that show.
So they're like, "We can't use Toyman, so we'll use we'll get the off-brand Toyman or whatever the second how it's like
we'll get the Walmart Toyman."
Yeah. Which, I mean, I will say this, though. They don't really do much with him either. Like, they do, like, he's only in, like, 3 scenes. The whole episode is mostly about Ivy, and then it's about Alfred being framed for a crime. Then it became about Nigma. And then it became about Nigma fighting his duality as the Riddler, that he's the one pulling the strings, and Nigma has no knowledge of it, because he keeps jumping in and out, taking it over. So he was the one pulling the strings of the assassination of Lee with the Riddler himself. I do like that Alfred getting honored by the people of the Narrows, and I do like that the toy gun turning into a machine gun. And like, I'm like, wow, it turns into a jigsaw trap for some reason. And his son's like, he said, I didn't know nothing about this. He goes, you didn't know that was gonna have a machine gun attached to it? Gordon's like, you didn't know that had a machine gun. That little thing had a mannequin had a machine gun attached to it. That came out of nowhere to you. It's like that made me laugh so hard when Gordon asked that. I do like Ivy making the 2 men fight over each other. She's just sitting there like they had to kick her out because she's like, yeah, he says, I don't know what happened. Mm-hmm. Like he just pheromone them and says, fight. And they're like, I want her. No, I want her. Which I'm just, well, I mean, she is deadly.
Venomous poison and all of that. But there's a lot of stories going on here, but I'm officially done, and it seems like we're at the point where it's about to be done. I hate this Bruce Wayne so very much indeed.
Dick Bruce is my least favorite Bruce.
It's awful.
He's just sitting there going, hey, everyone, hey, like he's in her fake. It's such a
I hated that. I hated that drunk dickhead Bruce.
I'm at a point now where I understand like the motivations of like the show to present him as like, oh, he's like trying to put on airs and like show that like he's basically putting on like a mask metaphorically to show that he is the billionaire playboy just without the genius and the philanthropist part. I get that. To quote Roger Ebert, I admire what they did and I hate it. And
I think that the whole idea is because he's just trying to suppress his trauma, block everything out by partying and do whatever the fuck he wants, shut himself off to everyone close to him, including Alfred.
And I get that in that respect, but I just have to trudge through like his voice in that attire and that thing. I'm just like, shut up. Like,
I just think that the way they do it, they just don't do it very well, and it just becomes very annoying, and he becomes very unlikable when he's the dickhead Bruce Wayne.
Also, And also that scene where him and Selena and all them were basically, it's like, hey, Selena, they don't card you here. You should have a drink. And she goes, well, I co-own the place, so yeah. Which I'm like, that made me laugh so hard. And I'm like, Selena's like, well, I co-own.
You
Like,
remember-
you're telling me
you know-
one of the co-owners.
And do you remember
I
that? Did you remember that moment when Ivy was watching that shitty commercial of the sirens when these three women were fucking promoting it?
That
like
was
during
a
the disco?
terrible. And by the
I'm
way, it's on
sorry. That
YouTube.
that shit was
commercial is on
so it was so cringe. I was like,
They did
who
a
put that
promo for the
together?
Sirens. They put a promo. They said they want it to look bad, like a promo for the Sirens Club. They said the whole idea is it's like they shot.
This is how I feel right here. This is how I feel.
Come on, man, that's garbage.
Like literally that, but they literally did a promo. I remember when the show was airing, and they had a promo for the.
It's like what's with this whole disco commercial style of your club?
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like it's a timeless show, so they're like, oh, I mean, everybody, like, have you noticed like everybody dresses up like they're from the freaking 70s or 60s? Like everybody's
they're mostly dressed up like they're from the 60s, but the way that they put that commercial, they're acting like they're in the 70s now. And that one of the worst wigs I've ever seen, especially Barbara. What the fuck is so bad wig?
I do like Ivy killing someone by making a plant explode out of their chest. That was great. Whenever, like, all of a sudden the guy's like, she like literally whenever like literally the guy, she just does this. She says, "Hold on 1 second." She goes, and then all of a sudden like, and then his chest explodes with a plant.
Even through their mouths too. Like, dude, this is like coming off of. It feels like the
Alien.
xenomorph. Yeah, it felt like Alien. It felt like an alien. The guy was
What do you
popping
think
the
of that,
xenomorph
Ryan?
out of his chest.
Whenever the guy just all of a sudden she cuts him, and then instead of kissing him, she does this, and all of a sudden he's like, and then just sitting there, and all of a sudden his just chest just busted open with a plant. And I'm like, what was your thought when you saw it? You're like, oh damn. I was like, oh damn.
That was very alien, and I appreciated it.
Like it's not just I hate in the movies how she kisses you and you die. I'm like, I'm glad.
Do you remember when those plants were coming out of their body when they're at the morgue, and they're trying to do a body analysis or something, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Silence of the Lamb, and then the show Hannibal. It felt like that kind of graphic.
You know what this reminded me of? Smallville season 6, the plant girl, the one that made the brutes come out of people.
Oh, one of the Phantom Zoner. Yeah, one of the zoners.
It feels like that was off-brand Poison Ivy. It feels like this is like
dude, that was on purpose. That was totally a off-brand of Poison Ivy, 100%.
I just thought that was reminding me of that when I was watching it, and I'm thinking like this now. I was like, you know what? I was like, but this is actually pretty clever though, and I like Also, I do like Butch gaining his memories back and reuniting with Tabitha. I thought that was great. And I think Poison Ivy poisoning Selena just to show her power. I thought that was great. She did this to Selena. Selena's like, and she goes, "Here, take this." You know, like she's showing her, like, I am in charge now. I am not the little girl that you can run over.
And also, it's like, hey, let's make Gotham our bitch.
But her idea of making Gotham a bitch is to kill all the humans in Gotham. And turn it.
Basically, she's a genocidal maniac, just like
she's an eco-terrorist. Essentially, she is an eco-terrorist.
She played The Last of Us and said, "You know what? That's not a bad idea."
Cue the music.
Exactly. I do like Alfred going back to the bar to find and just be jumped to save Alfred. Just for Bullock to show up and save him, and I'm Bullock telling Gordon to kick rocks, and he made the deal with Sophie. I like that back and forth that Gordon and Bullock had, where he goes, "You wanted to be captain. You made the deal with Sophia. Now you're gonna. Basically, he's telling him you shit in the bed, and now you're gonna have to lie in it. Okay, I can't help you."
And also, he's like, "Hey, you didn't come here because you want me to be your partner again. You come here to confess."
Yeah, that's true. Like he said, you made a deal with someone worse.
You made a deal with the devil.
Your mistake.
You made a deal with the devil, and she will come back to collect.
But Sophia was worse, and you made a deal with someone worse. You know. For someone who's willing to put a serial killer out there to basically to try to retake power, that right there is someone that's crazy. And I thought it worked really well. I also think, for instance, I do like though, like although here's some dislikes I had. Coincidentally, all the characters that are in the episode just happen to be in or near the building that exploded.
Yeah, that one I did not like. That felt way too convenient. It's like the quote from Pitch Meeting. It's going to be super easy, barely inconvenience.
I was like,
they just happen to be there at the same time.
Everybody was in there. It's like, what?
What the
And
hell?
then of course the toy plane was outside when it exploded, but somehow it ended up back in the building. Like how? Because but remember, Grundy hits the thing, it goes out the window and explodes, but yet somehow it come back in the piece.
Yeah,
and
where did
flew
that come
into the
from?
building.
Like, how did it miraculously go right back into the building when
I'm like,
Solomon
how would that
Grundy
make
like
sense?
hit that out the window, and somehow it's miraculously back inside the building? Makes no sense.
Also, how would Ivy know what apartment that couple lives in? Because it's a big building. She wouldn't know what number it is unless they said it, which they didn't. Like, so it's like she just randomly finds the empty apartment with the couple and is like, all right, because
Well,
just makes
it was
no
just a
sense.
random apartment that she walks right into any type of apartment. It doesn't really matter who it is. Like, she's a street rat. She'll get what she wants.
Also, I hate the Gordon and Lee drama, like and all. It's like it
Ugh.
feels like the Gordon and Lee, and she's like, I can't. You're Gordon. You're a murderer, and all that. I'm like, oh bullshit. I'm tired of this, Lee. Somehow
That's
she
too
makes she makes Barbara tolerable now.
Well,
It's
I
like
think at
this
this
is how I
point,
think about
I'm
Barbara now.
willing to agree with that.
This is how I think of Barbara.
Too harshly.
That should be that was me right there. It's like, yeah, I guess I treated you too harshly.
Because I mean, seriously, literally, it's just like it just seems like they can't make it. It's like I don't know why TV writers they cannot make a female character likable. And, it's like either she's got to be a love interest, she's got to be annoying, or there's got to be a love drama. I don't understand why.
It's a standard trope for fucking network television to don't know how to write female
Why can't
characters.
it be like HBO writers? The HBO writers know how to write a good female character. Like for instance, Game
At
of
least
Thrones.
from like any other streaming platform, like Prime Video or fucking Disney Plus or any of that shit. At
11
least they
from
know
Stranger Things is a better written character.
Yeah,
Well,
Freaking,
they're not annoying.
You know what's a better female character? Freaking what's her name from Peacemaker? Harcourt from Peacemaker.
Harcourt.
That is a better written character. I don't understand why they like for the network television.
Yeah, but most of the female characters in
Asshole.
Peacemaker were way better written. Harcourt and
James
and
Gunn.
Abile.
Yeah,
James
she's
Gunn, he
my favorite
understands.
character.
Yeah, because
But-
because also James Gunn breaks the cycle of a fucking trope of female characters. Either you like them as the love interest, or you hate them, or they're so fucking annoying.
Also, wouldn't Alvarez just tell Gordon to check the print? Wouldn't Alfred just tell Gordon to check the prints on the ring? Since obviously there's no way the guy would have been able to beat the woman to death and wipe his prints off the ring since he just beat her to death with it. So he would have to tell him check the ring, and then right there his prints would be on the ring too. So it's like, okay, see, also
but also it accounted for his friends who are the alibi.
But it's like, hey, he has my ring. His DNA is on the ring too. So how am I going to be like? Obviously, he killed this. So basically, they probably when they saw the ring and they reported, and they wouldn't look twice about it. Which I'm just saying, like it would make no sense because it's like, okay, CSI. They would have like Fox would just analyze it. Yeah, his DNA is all over this ring. Alfred and the other guys. So yeah, why is the other guys Alfred? It's his ring, so we know. So if Alfred, so how in his blood? And also they gotta search his hands and stuff. You could find even if he
also like him killing his own girlfriend just felt like it was a little bit too rushed. Because it seems like that he's an abusive boyfriend that beats her every now and then.
I'm gonna kill her. This
until literally Alfred came into the play and threatened him, and then dropped his ring and just used it to plant it on him to frame him, but beats her to death and kills her. Like, wait, you're killing her now at this point? What?
I understand this is Gotham, but damn, that's a
like
hard.
Come on, that's a little bit of a far stretch.
That's like saying if there's a fly in your house, rather than getting a fly swatter or a fly trap, just burn your house down. That's the equivalent. You got a fly in your house? Just burn it down. That's the equivalent. You go from like, oh, your girlfriend you think is cheating on you? Kill her. That's essentially he goes from that step. Like what? Like that's harsh. Also, the Riddler hiring a guy to kill Lee and I hated this. The Riddler hiring a guy to kill Lee and is revealed to be Ed in a split personality persona. It revealed that was like the Riddler's like Ed's personality. Like you hired me. And I'm just like, what? This is so stupid. You hired me.
He's like the psychopath version of like Jim Carrey's Hank from the Me, Myself, and Irene. What are you staring at, fucker?
Oh, I need to finally watch Me, Myself, and Irene to get that.
Oh, we're doing a watch party for that one now. Now that you'll get the joke, you'll get it, the reference. What are you
I've
staring
seen
at,
the movie
fucker?
1,000 times. I get that. That would be fucking hilarious. Oh my god, that would be a great plot of a movie. Like a guy with split personality hires a hitman to kill himself. That would be a freaking hilarious comedy.
How ironic! How ironic was that? Because the Riddler, Jim Carrey from Batman Forever, and also he was in that movie, had a split personality.
I am texting Rob that right now to see if like it's like we had just come up with a stupid idea for a comedy. This guy puts personality hires a hit.
Before you do that,
I'm
Colin,
so happy that I made you die laughing when I made that reference.
What?
Before you do that, Collins, give me your score.
All right. I'm gonna give this I would say a 6 out of 10.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Solid episode, even though there were some few things I didn't like, even though there's a lot going on. But I think that was a strong start of the episode with Ivy.
Matt, get ready to flip off Collins. I'm siding with you. I'm going 7. There's some bad stuff here, but I overall liked the Poison Ivy stuff, and that was the one that carried it through for me. But now let's move on to Season 4, Episode 13, where our boy Jerome is finally back proper this time. Season 4, Episode 13, called A Beautiful Darkness. Matt?
The episode aired on March 8th, 2018. Ivy begins to investigate Project M, which is being conducted at Wayne Enterprises and involves the experimentation on deaths of several plants, much to her anger. After she murders a Wayne Enterprises employee, a horrified Selena abandons her. So Ivy then visits Bruce and poisons him, causing him to hallucinate his closest friends and allies along with a mysterious cloaked figure. Simultaneously, Ivy hypnotizes Lucius and forces him to take her to the laboratory where Project M is being conducted. She collects a sample of the Lazarus water that is being used in an experiment before escaping. Gordon tracks them down and rescues Lucius before collecting the antidote and rescuing Bruce, who believes that he has seen his future. Ivy also uses the Lazarus water to create a new flower that can immediately kill someone upon contact with the Patels. Meanwhile, Jerome pesters Oswald in Arkham and subjects him to numerous humiliating tasks to turn him insane. Upon learning that Jerome intends to escape and wreak havoc on Gotham, Oswald decides to use that to escape. Yeah, I knew that at some point that Jerome was definitely going to return at some point. I thought it would be at least the first part of the episode, but apparently it was in the second episode, so that's where it picks up where it left off. Him humiliating Oswald constantly to drive him insane so that he can use the insane so he can wreak havoc. A little bit odd planning for Jerome's part, but I did like his Cameron Monaghan's performance.
It's probably what it was is probably because Cameron Monaghan had to finish shooting Shameless.
Yeah.
Before he could come to Gotham, because this isn't like a 3-episode arc for Jerome. Cameron Monaghan is in a lot of these episodes coming up. Like this is the first season that he's not just a 3-episode arc and then he's done. Like he's in a lot of these episodes coming up. And I'm just like, and I understand why. Like they probably are like, look, before we bring Cameron in fully, we want to, which by the way, yeah, I understand why, because like he is like he's an important part of this next coming episode. So I understand, which I do like seeing Jerome in this episode. And I will say that
he forces Cobblepot through it. Like I love the part where like they pay off kind of like a mini arc where it's like, oh, that's Dietrich. He pees on himself 20 times a day. And then like Oswald kind of does like the old switcheroo on him. And then
there's a laugh.
And
and
he's
then
just,
they make him do the clown dance and just man.
dude, when he was about to put on that clown suit and about to do the clown dance, I literally thought that Oswald was going to do the clown dance like Pennywise in the first It movie, doing this. I literally thought he was going to do.
I'm surprised.
You're saying this episode came out a year after It Chapter 1, so I thought that that's what they were going to do in that episode.
They're both owned by Warner Brothers, so.
What'd you think about though? I do like that. Yeah, he basically used a decoy, and then all of a sudden he tried, and also runs and pushes a thing trying to kill Jerome, and all of a sudden the guy gets electrocuted, and he goes, "Huh, didn't expect that." And then he's like, "Okay, time to kill you now." And he's like, I thought that was so good. I thought it made me laugh so hard and everything. And I do like Jerome and Penguin at Arkham and everything, and I do like Jerome meeting with Penguin, talking about a potential team up when they're in there. Remember, he comes into his room and he's like sitting there and he's like, "So," he says, he said, and Penguin tells him, "You have the guards. You can do whatever you want." He said, "Why are you here?" He said, "Oh, you're planning something." He's like, "Hmm." And he's like, he said, "You want to be a part of it?" He's like, "No." Which Jerome starts to like him after he does the mime thing where he's like, and then all of a sudden he's like, she. He's because as Oswald knows, he's insane, so I have to play to his level.
So yeah, he's playing on his level. That was on purpose. And also, this was totally a fan service in this episode with Bruce seeing his future, and he meets up with this other version of Gordon who has the mustache because in the comic books, Gordon has the mustache, the iconic mustache, and we get to see the actor wear the mustache for the first time as the mustache Gordon, the iconic look.
We all, me, Matt, me, and Ryan understand the mustache game. Matt doesn't.
That's true.
I will say that when he was looking at his shadow figure of himself on that roof where the night his parents had died, I like the parts like, yeah, you died, I was born. I was like, yeah, that's like, as fans who knows the character of Batman, we know that once his parents died in the alley, Bruce Wayne died, and that's the birth of Batman. And I thought that was a good scene, big of a fan service, but it was done well.
Also, I do like that Bullock as a butler with a chicken. He's like, "Yes, like I thought that was great." And then you see Ra's al Ghul again, as a doctor, like pulling his face off.
Yeah, but the actor who played Bullock, he was trying to pull off that English accent when he was trying to do the English. What do you do, Master Bruce?
So I'm not gonna lie, that part kind of freaked me out a bit because like he's there, he's like, no, and like takes off the face. The face is just sitting there, and you think, wait, is it gonna look like something out of Evil Dead? No, it's just a void. Like it's just a black hole in the and then they put like the wrapping on him and he looks like he's like Hollow Man or something.
But he almost like, dude, he almost, but also that look, it almost reminded me of that same look. If you watched the third season of Teen Wolf, the main villain was Void. If you know the villain, Dylan O'Brien was one of the main characters, and he was the Void Styles, and they had that look when he's wrapped around his face in the leather jacket. I was like, that felt so similar to that.
I will say this though, what I did like about this episode is I do like that we see Ra's al Ghul again, and I like how when he's wearing the bandages, it kind of reminded me of Hush because he's like, "Oh, you're wearing my face," and he goes, "Hey."
Oh yeah, the Hush. That was definitely a Hush. That was reference from Hush
around his face. I thought that was a great nod, and it's like, and I will say this, and I like how Leah is dressed like Cleopatra and Barbara's dressed like a 1920s actress, and then obviously Selena's dressed like a servant and everything, and the Bruce and the bandages reminded me of the Hush Easter egg. I do like at the beginning also Poison Ivy spraying a family, with pheromones, and then all of a sudden Selena's thinking they're here to rob the place, but Ivy's just here to get information from Charles and then kill him by cutting his throat and then making him like the plants. I thought that was great.
That was a great scene.
When she poisons Bruce, like she was just like, I thought that was great. And then he tells her everything, his like what he's been up to about Ray Sugar and everything, because that's an interesting story.
I did like the part when Ivy is stepping into that whole that in the GCPD and try to capture Lucius. He puts the recording tape on because he knew he was going to get captured and he knew he was going to be compromised, and so that he can record where they're going to go, so that Gordon will go and track them down. I thought that was a smart move on Lucius' part.
I love that scene though when the GCPD is confronting. They're like, Ivy's the greatest and everything, and
I'm not gonna
and
lie, it was funny, but it was a little cringy at the same time. The way they delivered those lines, like she's awesome, huh?
I like that when they're in the morgue and all of a sudden how great Ivy is and saying then he loves Ivy and Selena's saying yeah. He said, "Do you love?" He says, "We don't like Captain how you talked about Ivy," and he goes, "Oh, I love Ivy," and then he goes, "And you? Yeah, Ivy's great too." And she's like, "You're not really buying this, are you?" I said, "I don't think
And
so."
then she was
And
like,
then Latoya
"Neither,
says,
and you are, and you think you are."
and then he hits the run. Let's go. It's like,
Just like sprays in a fucking fire extinguisher, and then they try to escape.
I thought that was great. I thought that was great. And then all of a sudden, though, I do also like, Bruce hallucinating his future to become Batman. The only thing is, I wish they would have put ears on them because there's no ears. You can see.
I know. I think I think the idea was to not see the ears because once you see the reveal, then you see the bat swarming at him, and then that's when he knows. And I think that they didn't want to make it too obvious, even though it was obvious that was his darkness of Batman. I don't know. I feel like they just couldn't do it. I mean, that was just kind of his version of seeing swarm of bats, but except that in real life of being inside the cave and being swarmed by bats as a kid, he's using it as his hallucination mode.
I do like
that was their
Bruce,
way of doing their version of it.
I do like Bruce getting the water. I do like that Bruce. This was the smartest thing I thought in the whole episode. Bruce got Fox to get Bruce got a sample of the Lazarus water.
One thing I want to chime in. Sorry if I'm cutting you off, but I want to say one more thing. I literally thought that they were going to pull off that Joel Schumacher style in the director's cut of the deleted scenes. When now he's rediscovering himself and he's seeing the giant bat come. Like, yeah, Alfred, I'm Batman. I think, dude, that would have been fucking cool if they did that part.
Oh my god! Now you want me to? I'm gonna go watch.
Or he'll probably would have been like in the Nolan's Batman Begins, where he's like just swarming bats and he just stands there like.
I do like Bruce. I did think Bruce was storing, getting a sample of the Lazarus pit water and then storing it in a secret location and telling Fox not to tell me where. I thought that was great. I thought that was absolutely great because they're like, yeah, of course you should get that. You can advance medicine, healing people. I mean, yeah, because I mean, it didn't turn Alfred into a homicidal maniac. So I mean, like, hey, it works. And I thought that was excellent. I'm like, that is the smartest thing I ever seen Bruce do. And I'm like, that is absolutely smart. And the only thing is, though, yeah, he told him Fox has it, so then she went to go get Fox.
And he was smart to not know the location.
Yeah,
like nobody should know it, but no, I should not know it. You need to know it because what if I'm compromised?
I do like Jim confronting Ivy and Jim punching, and then of course because after she gets Fox to bring him there, and then Jim like says to Fox, he says maybe we should let Ivy, because she says I have the antidote to Bruce Wayne. I'm gonna kill him. He'll die in a few minutes if you don't give him this. And you can let me walk out of here with this. And then of course he accepts the deal. Toss your gun, and then it's in Fox's pocket. Okay, and then of course Fox is like, let's just wait until Ivy's off the premises. And he goes, I'm gonna have to knock you out. And he goes, careful. I've been taking night classes for jiu-jitsu. He's like, he hits him in the face.
And then Gordon just sucker punches him and knock him the fuck out. Like, oh wow, that escalated quickly.
Bless you, Lucius. You tried.
I would say get a refund. Those classes were not paying off.
Yeah, you need to get I literally thought he was going to kick his ass. I literally thought it was going to work.
Bless your soul, Lucius. You're good at many things, but kicking ass is not one of them.
I do like that.
I died when he just sucker punched him after that. I was like, God damn.
That made me laugh though, because he's like, all of a sudden it's like punches and he goes down. I'm like, that's what should have just punched people in the face.
God. Hey, oh man. I don't want to give away too much of the show Heroes, but there was one scene with one character and his buddy tells him, like, you better back off. You're gonna wish you never been born. And this big guy just give him one punch, like, and he just falls down and knocks him the fuck out. If you watch the scene in Heroes in that show, you would be dying laughing. You know what I'm talking about. But that reminded me of that.
I do like though that Ivy using the Lazarus water in her blood to make toxic plants that rip out of people's chests. Like when that couple goes in, who are you? We're calling the cops. And then all of a sudden she goes, and all of a sudden they're like, and all of a sudden it's like immediately. She used them as test dummies, and I'm like, that was great and everything. And Wouldn't also then so those are what I had positives. My negatives were wouldn't Ivy be worried the cops are, or wouldn't Ivy and Selena be worried the cops are after them because the people there are not dead. They're identified them. Like remember when at the beginning of the
You left them
episode,
as witnesses. You left them
they're
as
like
witnesses.
they're just literally frozen, like because you told them not to move, and yeah, but they still can see you and hear you.
Yeah, they saw your face. They know the description. Like
She
that
then
was not
later
that
she
smart.
confesses to Gordon, "Oh, I was just there to rob the place." I'm like, "What? That's still
I
a
was like,
crime."
why would you, dude? That's another crime. That's not
I was
even
just
better.
tagging along with it. That's what I would have said. I was just tagging along with Ivy. I had no idea she was there to murder.
That's all you have to
people.
say. Is like, yeah, I just came here to rob the place. Like, why would you say that?
That's still a crime.
That's still a crime.
Also,
He could still put
wouldn't
you in
Fox
jail for that.
immediately go to? Also, when he says like whenever you find out a high-ranking Wayne Enterprise employee is murdered, wouldn't Fox immediately go to Wayne Manor and find out, and after he finds out the corporate guy's dead, just to make sure Bruce is okay? Because there's like it's a level of like there's like three people: this guy, Bruce, and then Fox. So it's like that right there. I think it was poorly judgment on Fox's.
I just think that was just the writing choice because then the whole thing would have been resolved so quickly of his being poisoned under and then being in his hallucination and rediscovering himself. I think they wanted to prolong that sequence.
Wouldn't Ed be arrested for entering Arkham Asylum since he's a wanted fugitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, he was at Arkham Asylum, like, dude, this dude just like killed cops last season. Like, remember Gordon and them? Remember he even tried to kill the GCPD captain Harvey Bullock last season with him, like about a rope around his neck, about push, just so he can have this crime of being the Riddler.
I'm surprised he didn't arrest him when he was at the Narrows and meeting with Lee.
Also, why would the Riddler give away to Oswald that he's back? Because wouldn't it? I just thought that was kind of stupid.
Well, I think because Nigma hates him, but the Riddler does not. And he's the only one who can help him break free of his other personality. That Oswald was the only one who can do it so that he can finally break free and get rid of Nigma for good.
I do like Sophia Falcone. I did like Sophia Falcone threatening Gordon after he refused to release her man by saying, "You're right. You can reveal the Professor Pig information," and then she says, he says, "But unfortunately, he said that would be bad for both of us if the Professor Pig info got out about me hiring him, and then not taking credit for it. But instead, I think I'll just," he says, "hurt somebody you love." And then it hangs up, and then of course she meets with and her reuniting with Lee. So she's like, "I'm just gonna go after you."
You're like, "Oh my god, is Lee now gonna team up with Sophia?"
And then to find out next episode, fuck no.
That took a turn. It was like, "Fuck no."
But I thought this was a solid episode. If I had to give it a score, I'm gonna say about an 8 out of 10.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna give it an A too. I'm gonna side with Jay. Yeah, I like this episode. It's my favorite. It's actually my favorite of the three.
We are in agreement. I will go 8 as well. I really like this one, but there is a much better one. Literally one episode from now, and let's just get into that. This is season 4, episode 14, called Reunion. Matt?
I know you're trying to make that Joker little smiling, little creepy look on your face, dude.
Or he's just possessed by the smile demon.
that too. Yeah, usually this
the smile demon from the movie Smile. Yeah. Anyway, the episode aired on March 15th, 2018. Nigma begins to contemplate suicide to kill his dual personality, but opts to return to Arkham instead. However, Oswald reappears and reveals to him that he specifically wrote his letter so that his dual personality would read it and bring Nigma back to Arkham. Meanwhile, Ivy begins to exact her revenge on those who have hurt her, beginning with Bullock for the death of her father years ago. Gordon takes Bullock to the GCPD and learns that Ivy intends to attack the annual Wayne Foundation dinner. Bruce attempts to convince Alfred to return, but the latter turns him down. He later attends the dinner as Bruce unsuccessfully attempts to reach out to him. However, Ivy attacks the dinner and kills several people before the GCPD arrives. Bruce dresses in vigilante attire and rescues the few remaining people there. Alfred decides to return to Wayne Manor. Following this, Selena destroys the Lazarus water to prevent Ivy from making more plants. Simultaneously, Sophia forcibly takes control of the Narrows and has Lee thrown into the streets, leading Gordon to turn to Bullock for help and decides to take Sophia down.
So yeah, Bruce gives a great speech in this, like a really great speech. I loved this speech.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite part of that episode was Bruce Wayne's speech, and also trying to reconcile with his relationship with them.
Yeah. I got some notes. All right. So I do like Bruce burning his proto mask, saying he said, "Look, I just want to be Bruce Wayne. I don't want to be his party boy. I just want to be Bruce Wayne. I don't want to be the Bat Boy." Ivy show. I said Ivy showing up at a Ivy showing.
I think I will say. I mean, I will say with the whole burning the mask thing, I think he just wanted to burn his prototype mask because that's not the mask he wants to use now. Because he knows what he wants to look like in the future when he gets an upgrade of that suit with the bat ears and all that stuff. Because now he knows what.
Like? You know what he wants to look like? Iron Man. Iron Man.
I bet.
He could make an Iron Man suit. That would have been like pew pew pew. I am Iron Man. Have you ever seen that? There's on YouTube.
Then he'll definitely need to add the genius and the philanthropist at the end.
Yeah, there was actually a funny alternate ending someone did, or like they took the where it says Harvey Dent goes, "I am," in the Dark Knight when he goes, "I am Batman." Like he says when he said Batman, take the Batman into custody. Remember that scene where he says, "Take the Batman." Bruce Wayne's about to walk up there, and he goes, "I am the Batman." They arrest him. There's a scene where they take that line, and it says, "I am Iron Man." Like the way I love that last song. Bruce Wayne's just like, "What?" Like it made me laugh. Sorry, because first time I was like, he say Iron? Who the fuck's Iron Man? That made me laugh so hard. I thought about. I was like laughing hysterically. Like, it's so stupid. But it's just like just words could change something, make it funny. I will say this though, I do like that Ivy was showing up at that bar to kill Harvey Bullock, and when the guy's just eating a pickle, and you can tell she's getting really annoyed by that pickle because it's.
He's like, I'm getting annoyed by him eating that pickle. I'm actually getting annoyed by that guy. So it's like oh my god,
all of a sudden she goes, he said, what do you want me to tell him? Oh, you'll be dead. Just this will suffice.
Like kills everybody in the room just to send a message to Bullock. But also, yeah, I get that she wants revenge on her father, but her father was a piece of shit. Like, who gives a shit? Your father was a piece of shit who was an abusive.
It's her piece of shit, though.
It's her piece of shit father.
Yeah. I do like Sophia extorting Lee into the Narrows to pay her, like, saying, like, like, she goes, "I don't care. Let the Narrows people." Like when she says, like, if we take 30%, like, their people will starve. You'll figure it out. I'm like, what a piece of shit Sophia is. Like, even her father knew, like, that's too high of a price, but she doesn't care. She's like, "I don't care. I'm in charge. My father's dead. I run things now."
Yeah, she runs the show.
Yeah. And then she literally left her, like, and then all of a sudden, what was it? She betrays her.
And gets gets the crime boss of the Narrows to try to side with him and try to take control back. And fucking using the hammer just to fucking damage Lee's hand. Like, oh god, that got a little very
because
intense.
You're my sister. I'm not going to kill you, but I am going to teach you a lesson. One hand should suffice.
It's like, bam.
Damn. When I saw that hand thing, that made me even go like, "Oh god."
Oh, that fuck. God, you damaged your fucking hand.
I felt it. I was like, "Oh."
I felt it too.
You smashed Lee's hand in with a hammer. And it was like it was a metal hammer too. That was a metal steel hammer.
Yeah, that was a metal hammer.
Well, because you're my sister-in-law, I'm not gonna kill you. And she goes, "Oh, we're family." And she's like, "Family?" She's like, remember what she said? She said, "Doesn't mean we're a happy family."
Doesn't mean we're a happy family. I was like, damn. Yeah, just when you thought that they were gonna team up, that completely pulled a 180. It took a different turn.
I also I do like Bruce when he's trying to be sincere with Alfred. He apologizes, saying, "I'm sorry, I was being a dick," and fired you and all that stuff. And I'm very sorry. I really want you to come back. Which Alfred's like, no, you need to own what you did. You know, I'm not apologizing. You're a grown. And he said, you want to act like a grown up? You need to own what you did. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta own up to it.
I loved that. That's why it's my favorite of the three.
Yeah,
I loved
he gave him the tough love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And then
didn't let him
I
off
do
the
like,
hook.
I do
Go
like
on,
that.
Ryan.
I do. Oh, Ryan, what were you saying?
I'm glad they didn't let him off the hook.
Which I do like at the when he got up to make that speech because he saw Alfred there. He was just going to be like, no, you know what? This person treated me like father, and I was a piece of shit to him, and I treated him poorly. I am apologized because this man's the closest thing to family I have left. Even though I was like, okay, I love the speech, but to everyone else, like, no one understood what the fuck that meant. Like, because it's like, what the fuck's he saying? Like, that makes no like. This to what he's here for makes no fucking sense.
You left everybody confused. Like, what are you talking
like,
about right now? It
well,
sounds like
you're right,
very
it's like-
personal. Okay,
Huh? That was their
Huh?
reaction.
I would be like, what the fuck is he talking about?
This was everyone's reaction.
Why?
People were just like, huh? It's like, huh? Like, but yeah, and I also also I do like
No, but one thing another clip that what the audience have thought about.
I have a few questions, starting with what the fuck?
That's the one.
I like that. That's one of my favorite clips. I do like that. Yeah, I do like Gordon and the task force busting into Harvey's apartment, and Albert saying he's just sitting there past to Harvey. He's like, "Oh my god, they already got him." He goes, "No, they didn't," and he kicks him. He goes, "What?
You owe me that door. Hey, you owe that door. You're gonna pay for that door."
And he says, "We thought he's just drunk on the couch," and he's like, and
He's passed out on the couch.
I do like her. I do love Ivy's broadcast when she's talking about, oh, like you see how it glitches green, like it goes from color to green, like
It's a symbol. It's a symbolism of her color. It's symbolism.
And she's like, I'm gonna wipe the city out. I'm going to poison your infrastructures. Your plants, everything you eat. He says everything I'm going to poison, and I'm gonna wipe you all out. He said, and plants can have a Gotham.
You know that because I appreciate with this Ivy character that she has a purpose. She even though her revenge is a little bit of an afterthought, but at the same time she wants more.
Yeah, she sees because you remember she's walking down the street in like the last episode. She sees all this carbon monoxide poisoning and killing the plants. She goes, "They're killing you," and so basically her plan is basically the same plot in Batman and Robin, where she's like, "I'm gonna basically bring the Mother Nature again up and everything." Which, by the way, in that movie, her and Mr. Freeze's plot does not work out because, like, you're going to freeze the city. I'm going to basically regrow plants. How the f does that work? Because you're hot heat and you're ice and I'm heat. What?
Makes no sense.
Which this makes sense though because she's like, I'm working myself and I'm basically going to poison everybody I see. Which I do like though the.
I would have liked it if she came up with Mr. Freeze and then it's like, dude, you're just remaking Batman and Robin again. You're just ripping out the plot of Batman and Robin. The fuck?
If I was Gordon, I would just start looking for her at botanist. I would look for botanist places, or I would look for like fertilizer factories or botanical gardens. I would be looking like anywhere if there's a garden shop or a botanical garden or a botanist shop or something. I would be looking at those locations because anywhere where there's plants, she's probably there because she's a psychopath. I will say this though. I do like Ivy taking Ivy whenever whenever Gordon shows up and then Harvey Bullock is like, Jim, meet me there. And all of a sudden she's like, and she goes, he says, Harvey, kill him and then kill yourself. You got it, Ivy.
You got it.
He hypnotizes Bullock and then Laura and Gordon. And then he says, I have a question though, Harvey. I can't let you go. I have to kill you. Okay, but what's Ivy's color? Is it brunette or is it red or is it like beige? And he goes, they just like run. It's like he turns. Oh.
It's one level above. What the hell is that? Turn around, run away.
I I was just laughing so hard.
Or
He's
be,
just
or be like Arnold from Last Action Hero. Be like, oh look, an elephant.
it's like, it's like, oh yeah. I was laughing so hard though. Yeah, whenever like, what was it? I was just like laughing. I was laughing whenever, yeah. Oh shit, I forgot what I was saying. But I was laughing whenever, yeah, that he was just sitting there, and then he tries to like, he's shooting his gun.
Yeah.
He's shooting his gun. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're like." He just gets into him, and he shoots the gun. Then all of a sudden, he knocks him out, and everything. And all of a sudden, which I do like, whenever Ivy taking the Wayne Foundation hostage. Even though I'm like, Bruce just leaves like 5 seconds later. Like obviously, like
I
there's
know.
enough.
Wait, yeah. That was. Oh God, I wanted to point that out. I completely forgot that I was going to point out the negative here. I did not like how he just leaves he just leaves Alfred and leaves the Wayne Dinner Foundation, and then the colonel shows up 5 seconds later. You were literally right out the door. How did you not spot this shit? What the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me?
I have a few questions, starting with what the fuck?
No, this is mean to Bruce that didn't spot this.
Dude, does it just suck being you?
Or like this. This is what Ryan would say.
Bullshit.
Because I mean, that's really because you're like, there's no freaking way. There's
no fucking way that you did not spot that. There was a bunch of fucking 10 men coming in inside the damn dinner.
He literally what? Like he literally left, and all of a sudden he's just like kicking rocks, like going like, "One is the loneliest number."
Or be like Ben Affleck.
Can be as bad as one.
Or be like Ben Affleck in the interview from BBS. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And he's just like, this is pointless for you even having you here. And he walks away, and all of a sudden he's kicking rocks, and all of a sudden his SWAT's like, his ID in there. He goes, who? Bam, bam. And he's like, oh no, help. I'm just like, yeah, which I will say though, I did love when like she says, she chooses this guy and says, hey, handsome. And all of a sudden she kills, which she should have killed everybody at that table. And there should have been like at least 10 people dead, not one person, because she did this. Like, she didn't just kill one person. She should have killed everybody in that group, okay? Because that is, everybody should have been able to withstand that toxin going.
Oh, yeah. They should have.
It just made no sense to me. I'm like, I mean, I guess because they're like, look, you can't kill that many people in this episode. You know? But
Too much body count.
Yeah, I do like Gordon confronting Bruce in disguise. I like how Bruce just knocks out one of the guards, takes his outfit, and he goes up in disguises. Like Batman Begins style, and then it's.
Oh, I literally thought that he was going to come up behind him on that rooftop, like, "Don't turn around, you're a good cop. Let's work together." I literally thought that he was going to come up behind him and try to speak in that deep voice.
This is what Ryan was thinking when he was watching that scene.
Oh, come on!
Like, that's Batman Begins, okay?
Pretty much, yeah.
I do like I like that Bruce saying how he doesn't want to be Batman, just wants to be Bruce, but then he can't ignore crime because he's like, if I ignore crime, like I can't just ignore this, okay? Because Gotham, I live in Gotham, and Gotham crime is going to be at my doorstep. Like Ivy tried to kill me the other day. Now Alfred's life's in danger. Every day someone's life's going to be in danger. If I just ignore it, I'm going to die. Or he said people around me are going to die.
He also, that whole poison thing really gave him a wake up call and feel like I now know my future. I know who I'm supposed to be.
Like there's a scene in the Batman Mask of the Phantasm I love where he's at his parents' gravesite and he wants to just be with the what's her name? What's her name?
Oh God, what was her character's name? I know who you're talking about.
The movie.
Yeah, the main villain that plays the Phantasm.
He wants to be with her. And he's like, but he can't because he realizes that he has to be this bat symbol of this Batman. And he's like begging it at his.
I mean, he wants to be just a normal billionaire Bruce Wayne, but he knows he can't run away from it.
I will do whatever it takes. I love that scene where he's at his family's grave. Whatever it takes, I will give.
Yeah, her name is Andrea.
Andrea, yeah. When he's literally telling them, please, parents, let me be with this woman. I will give the GCPD more money. I will literally hire, armed guards, whatever it takes, a task force. Whatever it takes, just let me be with her. And he can't because he realizes he needs to be the city. The city needs him.
He needs to be their symbol.
I love that scene because that's what Batman is. He goes, I would do it whatever it takes to be happy, but I can't because I don't want. He said I got to be Batman. Batman is who I am.
That's what Kevin Conroy said in the documentary The Mask of Phantasm. Like, dude, Batman is a part of him. He's not the mask. It's part of his identity. Yeah. It's who he is.
What were you saying, Ryan?
Nothing. I was just gonna go to scores.
No, I was just saying. I got a few more things I want to say because I haven't even got to my negatives yet. But I do like though Ivy. I do like seeing how I do like Ivy versus Selena when they're fighting because she's like, I'm gonna break this last jar because she escapes and she goes, I still have more of this. So I'm gonna use it, and she goes, I'm gonna break it, and then she grabs it and she with a whip and she says, I'm gonna kill you if you don't give me that. And then they all of a sudden she goes, you're a hero, and I goes, I'm no hero. And then like basically they start fighting, and then of course Ivy she drops it and smashes it and says, I'm gonna kill you. Now you're going to die. And then she puts a knife to her chest. Says,
oh God, you know what that scene reminded me? It reminded me in the movie Predators when Walter Goggins was pulling the knife on Marshall Ali's neck, and then Marshall pulls goes like, I'm ready to die. Are you?
Yeah. I thought that was great. I thought that was amazing when she's like, all right, go ahead. Yeah, you'll kill me. I'll be dying.
If you kill me, I'm taking you with me.
Yeah, you'll be bleeding out, and then I'll be dead too. We'll both be dead. And she's like, she lets her go, and she goes, huh, okay. He said, don't worry.
It seems to me that she was playing a game of chicken.
I do like that Ed checking into Arkham only to be tricked from the Penguin, saying, see, you found my letter. You found my letter.
You found my letter. I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to him.
And then all of a sudden he realized, and then he becomes the Riddler again.
Yeah, because that was his strategy to piece together those Riddler and that notes that he gave to Oswald. I think it was like Oswald, or maybe it was Enigma, in order to trigger his identity as the Riddler, so he can take full control over himself and now get rid of Enigma for good.
I just thought that worked like so well. And then I was like, I'm back, and he's like, like, oh look, my friend is back. Which, also I also like Bullock becoming a cop again because he's like,
I did like the fact that they both, him and Gordon, reconciled their friendship, like, and now he can come back to the GCPD.
Like with Bruce, he's kind of on a journey too.
And also with Gordon says like, yeah, he confessed to Bullock of what really happened between him and Sophia, and now he's like, now I want to take her down.
Yeah, which also, and I like that, because he's on a journey too. He says, I can't go, like someone show up at my work just to kill me. Yeah, so he said that being a cop is who I am, and which that's the stuff I like. The stuff I dislike, wouldn't Ivy just spray somebody at a bar and ask where Bullock's location is, the bartender, since she could just go to his apartment and kill him? Like that what she should have done the whole time. Like instead, you want me to take a message? I would just go, where is Bullock? Oh, he's at his apartment. Write the address down. Oh, okay.
Work smarter, not harder, Ivy. That's all I'm saying.
Also, but what if she sprays the contact? And what I said, but what if she sprays the contact? I put the contacts in the narrows and leaves Harvey. Because when Harvey says he's going after Ivy, which that does happen. Oh, never mind. That happens. Okay, I was gonna say what because obviously I'm going after her alone, and I'm thinking, what if she goes around spraying people and then she leads into a trap? But that actually happens in the episode. So I wrote that episode down I wrote that note down prematurely. Selena should know by now that Ivy is a homicidal maniac, and she's probably going to kill every human being, including her. And she's willing to go teach her a lesson earlier. Wouldn't she? This had all been avoided, and people would have died if she would have just stole the chemicals from her earlier, or told the cops where she was. Because when Gordon's like, you knew where she lives? Yeah, you should have told us, because she's literally going around murdering people, and she plans to kill all of our infrastructures. Literally, she's going to poison our crops. She's going to poison our water. She's going to do everything she can because she wants to give back to the plants. Okay, yeah, she's a homicidal maniac. I do like that Ivy I hated this. Ivy telling Bullock after she kills Gordon to shoot himself in the head. He says, copy that. That was so stupid, though, because he's like, I understand he's in a love potion, but like, really? This isn't like, I understand you're in a trance, but like, you're not hearing any of this. Like, you're just like, copy that. Like, even a love potion, I would just be like, you want me to kill myself? What?
Well, you can see he's not in control of himself.
Yeah,
so of course
that was a little nitpick I had, but not big. But also, Lee figuring out about Gordon sleeping with Falcone, I hated that. Lee's figuring it out that she slept with Falcone. So
again, dog.
how that I hated that the whole love drama. It's like
Again, here's the thing. Here's my reaction to this.
No, and I don't care.
I'm gonna tell you.
yeah, like it just made no sense. And obviously, I already said
Bill Maher once said about Hollywood elites who do land acknowledgments at award shows. He said once, either give the land back or shut the fuck up. As far as this romance goes, either stick it in or shut the fuck up.
that's actually
Or like David Chappelle said, like, you could shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like literally, it's like this is what I think when I hear that. Okay, this is what I think about whenever Lee is talking about, oh, I know about you and Sophia.
And I'm like, you know what? The next time you have a thought, let it go.
Many uses for that clip. So many uses.
Oh, this is also the people that about the land acknowledgement. This is also how I feel.
And I'm
about
like,
that,
you know
the
what?
land
The next time you have a thought, let it go.
I think we get the point here.
Yeah.
Like, but yes, I do agree though. I do agree. But yeah, I'm a very regarding this episode. This is my favorite episode. If we're going to scores now, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Okay, Matt?
I'm gonna get the same score like I did for the last episode. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
Well, Collins, get the finger ready. I'm siding with you. I'm going 9. This one was really good. Honestly, one of the better episodes of this whole season. A surprisingly consistent season. This is one of the better episodes.
Pauses for a moment for Jake here.
What? Oh my God! Like,
Oh, you know what?
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
Hang on a second, I'm getting another call.
Hi, you're a loser. Please hold.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you Drama.
Wow, that was a brutal comeback. Let's go, guys. I don't think I'll ever recover from that. Man.
and I'm like, you know what? The next time you have a thought, let it go.
I will turn this car around. This is my channel, after all.
But yeah, sorry, that's what me and Matt were about to be. I was like,
What?
it's about to be the.
What did you think of these 3 episodes, folks? Let us know in the comments. Love to read what you have to say. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Small Zero. We're live every Wednesday or Friday, depending on the availability. But Collins, where can the people find you?
They can find me at 3D Movie Cinema, where I literally, by the time this airs, by the time this airs, my review for Marty the Dick, I meant Marty Supreme, will be uploaded on my channel, and I'm gonna have a full rant on that movie. Other than that, yeah, Small Zero every Wednesday, Talking Gotham every Tuesday. Ryan, you do need to tell them about you're going to be next week will be our last episode of Talking Gotham for 2 weeks.
Let Matt have his chance to plug some stuff, and then I will. So, Matt, where can the people find you?
You can find my YouTube channel at Matt182. I put up my review for Ready or Not 2. Check that out. And I might be able to see 2 movies this weekend for The Devil Wears Prada 2 and Michael. So keep an eye open for that. And I will be editing more clips on the Small Zero channel.
Yep, all the links down below. Subscribe over there. And yeah, like Collins alluded to, basically, long story short, I'm going out of town for 2 weeks. Basically, very good life stuff, but life stuff. It's a bucket list item trip. Once in a lifetime, I jumped on it. Basically, I'm going to be gone AFK for 2 weeks. These guys are continuing on Small Zero without me. They're going to have guests to replace me for 2 weeks, so please go and watch them over there. This channel's still going to have content. I will make sure of it. I'm scheduling videos well in advance. Like, I've got a big project that I will be starting up. Well, by the time this drops, it will have already started. So be on the lookout for that. And it's a pretty big one. It's one I've been thinking of doing for quite a while, and figure, like, since I'm going to be AFK, might as well just do it now. And then Russell and I are going to be taping some in advance, so the Friday show will still be happening. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming for me personally and for this channel. So we will return in a couple weeks' time to Gotham. We will return, but this is the last episode for now. With that being said, though, for Collins, for Matt, my name is Ryan Cam. We're going into hiding because the streets of Gotham have become far too dangerous. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time. You all stay safe. And just for old time's sake,
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.
Jesse Jackson for VP.